Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a hot minute. I'm sorry, you know how it is. Life is life, and if I have nothing to say or post, I won't say nothing or post anything. And if I do, well, you'll find me here. So today we're back for a video that I definitely didn't plan on doing anytime soon, but yesterday I received a nice comment on my video about light system. So if you haven't seen it, it's somewhere around here. So check it out. But in this video I talk about mainly console photo modes, and I mentioned the Uiversal Unreal Engine 5 Unlocker custom light system as the best one we have. But I don't go deep into that one. And Dolores Abernathy commented that they wish I had this tutorial on my channel for specifically the custom light system on the UUU. And you know, I firstly I answered, well, it's pretty straightforward. You just create a source light and you place it where you want, blah blah blah. And they said, well, for a newbie like me in virtual photography, it's actually not that easy. And I thought, yeah, I mean, I might have forgotten how it is when you start, because I already had my learning curve with this tool, which is really not that complicated, but you know, you have to just dive into it a bit. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna show you the basic use of this this amazing feature. I will present the UUU tool as a whole as an introduction, but we will be using specifically the light system in this one. All right, so let's stripe in, and you know, just for Dorothy, some people choose to see the ugly in the world, the disarray. I choose the beauty, and this is through light system that we achieve this. Let's go. So for today's demonstration of some sort, I'm gonna use Wuchang. Wuchang is an amazing game, I love it. It's a game made with Unreal Engine 5, which allows us to use the famous Unreal Engine 5 Unlocker tool made by Frans Bouma. You can find this on his Patreon. I will link, of course, the place down below, so you can grab it and use it yourself. When you launch your game and then you launch your Universal Unreal Engine 5 Unlocker, that we usually refer to as UUU. All right, so I'm gonna go with UUU. You open it and it presents itself like this. Maybe the first time you won't have this first line in the game process to inject to place, and you will have to browse currently running programs. So in this case, the game is this one, Project Plague Wind 64 shipping, and so you select it, you go on select, and from now on, every time you will launch the UUU, when your game is running, it will already be selected like this, so you don't have to, you just have to press inject DLL, that's the blue button, and then it will look for, or maybe it's behind my video right now, but it did show that it found the camera and stuff like this, so it's working. And you can also see in the left panel the available features, and you have all the features of the program, and it says yes. It shows that it works perfectly. In this left panel you will have different tabs like hot sampling, which weirdly doesn't work on this game, but whatever. The miscellaneous, I don't even know how to say this word actually in English, miscellaneous options, which plays a role in the light stuff, so we'll come back to this in a minute. And the light tab, which is the one we will be using today mostly. Okay, you also have the post-processing tab, which is very important, but we are not gonna dive into this one today. But just, you know, as a simple stuff, you can play on the exposure of the game, which is useful also when you play with lights. You have a bunch of settings available. The bloom intensity that you can push up or down, etc. You can also do your own settings. For instance, I do have one for Wuchang that I use in certain places and stuff like this. So anyways, you will have to dive into this and, you know, to figure it out by yourself, because today we're talking about light. All right, so first of all, for this demonstration, I'm gonna stay in the main menu. Okay, so you can see here we are in the main menu of the game. So first of all, I'm gonna stop the game with page down. Okay, so now you can see that the character is not moving anymore. Everything is frozen. I'm gonna take off the HUD of the game. That's something that you would do also in the game, right? But I'm just doing it in the main menu because it's running better, I think, than the actual game. Then you can unlock your camera. I mean, you kind of have to. So you press insert, and it probably didn't see it behind my head now, but it says camera enabled, and then you can move your camera around freely and without any distance restriction. So of course we are in the main menu, so it doesn't look like anything. You have a bunch of floating stuff, but we don't care because we just want to show how lights work. Okay, so so let's go on Wuchang for a minute, or you can make her move again if you need to adjust, like maybe you want to have her in the closing eyes position, so you can skip frame by frame, and then you will have, let's try this. Come on, close your eyes. Let's go. I think that's the best frame I can get. Anyways, and the first thing you want to do is, I mean, I can show you this first. In the misc adjustment, well, I've talked about before, you have the option here, existing game light intensity percentage, and you can put this on and off, and you can change the amount of light entering from the game. So it's not the main thing you can do with the light, but it helps in many cases, so don't forget to check. Sometimes in some games it doesn't work, but if it does, it can be really helpful to create black backgrounds, or, you know, like silhouette stuff like this. I'm sorry, I'm just used to have this big window open, but I'm gonna put it a bit smaller. Okay, so for now I'm gonna leave it to the normal stuff, and we're gonna go to the lights tab, which is the main place we want to work with. Okay, you have down here the new spotlight, new point light, toggle all visualizers on off, and then toggle all lights on off, or delete all lights features that are grayed out now because I have no light. All right, so what you want to do for the first thing is to create a light source. So usually I go with spotlight because you have just more possibilities with it, but of course if you want more an ambient light or something, you will have to choose point light, which is something like it's a sphere that radiates all around it. It's not just one source like a spot. Maybe I can show you this. If you put your game light intensity percentage to 0 and you create a spotlight, you will have right away a flat spotlight from the camera place. Okay, it puts the light where your camera is. All right, so first thing I would do personally is place my light where I want it, and for that you have this. So you have now the number one spotlight. It's not attached, as you can see. It says it is attached and nothing is here. Is unable. It is unable. It is off now. You can put it on or off, of course. You can change the color from here, but you also can do it from the editing window that we will see in a minute. And then you have this little camera here. This button will move your camera where the spotlight is. All right, which now is the exact same place because I just popped it out. And this one is the opposite. It moves the light. It moves the light to the camera's position, right? So again, right now it's the same because, well, I just popped it out, but it also attached the light to the camera. So that's the one I'm gonna use now. I press on this, so it goes back on the game, but now my light is set on my camera. So if I move my camera away, you can see that my light disappear. Okay, and I'm gonna use this to place my light source where I want it. So for instance, let's see if we want something like in this angle for a portrait. It's nice to have a half face in the dark or something like this. So let's, you know, roughly I put this here. I come back to this one, and now you can see it says is attached indeed. So I don't want it attached, so I uncheck this and I will be back to my starting point, which is very well, the shadows are a bit rough, but you know, the game is in medium settings. Sorry about that. So it's very convenient to use this to place your light sources. Let's say you want another one that you will put in back of her head to try to have a rim light around her head, for instance. So I do the same. I just pop a new spotlight and I go on move the light to the camera, and then I'm gonna move my camera. I don't know if some people have different ways to use it more easily, but I find it the more efficient way to just place your light sources where you want it with keeping your composition. So you can see now that I have the light on the top of the hair. And of course, from there, I will be able to move them around without all the time going back with my camera. So that's just a rough placement phase. All right. So from there, of course, you can check all your light sources independently if you want. And then you can also copy one you did your settings and your light and your colors and stuff like this. You can copy it as it is, so it's very useful. But for now, we're gonna open the light editor for this. So I'm gonna go with the first light I put, and then you have this window coming up. All right, so it becomes a bit busy, but you know, get used to it. So in this one, we're gonna check again the basics. All right, you will have to spend a bit of time in it, and it may vary from game to game what is available, what changes or not, but overall this is what you can do. So personally, I would first off play with my intensity. So you have this intensity slider here that you can obviously, you know, move around for intensity, and you have the intensity max value here, which is very important because it's set to 200 now, but you can go way higher, and then your intensity max is going to be very different. Why is this important? Because something you can do, and I usually do, is, especially if I want to create a portrait with black background or something like that, I will go to the post-processing tab, and I will find the exposure thing. All right, and I'm gonna put the exposure maybe not to 0, but very low, so everything is super dark, right? And then I go back to my light source and I put them very strong. All right, you know, I need to adjust some stuff. All right, so you play with your exposure bias, and you can have really easily a super dark background and redo all your lights on your character. So that's something that I use very often. So you can see now that my second spotlight on the rim light on the hair is not showing because my intensity is not strong enough in this super dark setting. So I'm gonna push it up so I remember that it's here. All right. Back to the first one. So what you can do with your spotlight is you can play with your radius amount, or, you know, distance, I guess. So very useful. Maybe I will make another example with more open spaces lighting. You can play with the volumetric intensity, so it won't show here, but I'm gonna put an example of something I use with volumetric intensity, a portrait. You have indirect lighting. You have a lot of little settings that won't always do something depending on how you set your lights or your ambient light before. All right, so don't freak out if it does nothing. You have the light channel just down there that might be important, because in some game you will pop your light and it will not show, or it will not act on the character as you want. Maybe it's because of this, and you can check on 3 different light channels, and sometimes it will make the light appearing or disappearing. So don't forget to check this if you notice that your spotlight is not working on a specific character or object. Just change these settings. You see, if I uncheck it, if you use the light channel 0, the cloth will appear. So yeah, I mean, check what channel you use. It might change some stuff for your composition and so on. You also have some settings about the shadows. I'm not gonna dive into this one, but again, check it out. You have the physical characteristic again, source radius. Oh, okay, so the cone angles thing is pretty useful. So you can change the outer cone angle, you can change the inner one, and if you make them join on the same level, you will have a very sharp edge of your spotlight, like this. Or on the contrary, if you space out them, you will have something more shadow and more gradient, you know. It doesn't work with the sphere one, alright? What was it called again? The point light, sorry, the point light. It works only with the spotlight. So yeah, color wise, you can change the temperature of the light source. So basically you go into the reds or into the blues. It's just colder or warmer light, but of course you can also change the color directly from here. You can set your color to whatever you want, you know, and also you can play with the saturation of the light and also the strength of it. So very complete. You can do pretty much anything. You can also play with different channels, HSV, HSL, and RGB to change in a more, you know, precise way, I guess. I never use this, honestly, but yeah, you can. And just up there, you have the placement and orient and rotation thing. So this one here is important because it's a way to move your light sources or orient it from afar. So for instance, the pitch thing will just do what it says. Okay, you will just move your spotlight up and down, basically. You can use the yaw thing, that is more right and left rotation, and you have the roll thing, but it doesn't do much in this state, but it just rotates the light sources. So sometimes you can create a light source that is more oval, I mean, you know, like long light source. So in this case you can play with the rotation of it, but here it wouldn't do much. And then you have the placement X axis, X, Y, and Z, and you can just click in there, and with your mouse roll button you can check it how it moves, and Y, stuff like this. So usually if I want to move it very fast, I just unlock my you know, middle button crenation, and I just make it roll like this, pew, very fast. Again, in open spaces lighting, if you want to recreate scenery, it might help to move it very fast. Or of course you can still, as we did first, you can still attach your camera and just move your camera faster like this. And then you have the Z one, which is up and down. So very, very important to just fine tune your placement. And you know, that's pretty much it actually in terms of how to use it. Let's have fun and create a picture maybe. So let me find a different angle maybe. The shadows on the face are really bad if you look close. I mean, wait. In extreme close-up, it's not that bad actually. Oh yeah, it's okay. Let's go for an extreme close-up then. So if you go back to the game, you just toggle everything you put off. You can take off the lights. You can. I'm gonna even just delete them. Right. So last thing, just to demonstrate it, but without any artistic value in there. If you want to relight a whole scenery or a whole landscape, it's absolutely doable. Of course, it will ask a bit more of time maybe, or you know, but let's try. Alright, I hope this was helpful for people who really just touch it for the first time. Let me know in the comment if you have anything to add or any question that I didn't cover. Obviously there are probably a lot, but again, from this basic use, you'll be able to just figure out how you prefer to use it, or how stuff works in the game you're currently shooting, and things like that. You know, this channel is very random. I don't put much into it right now, but if you would subscribe and activate the bell so you know when I put a video out, and I promise you won't be flooded by by notifications, but at least you won't miss it, and that would be really great. If you don't want to subscribe because you know it's just like a one-time thing between you and me, I do understand this, but please consider putting a like on the video, and you know, keep it in mind somewhere if someone speaks to you about virtual photography or want to know more about it. There's not much on YouTube about virtual photography, so you know, I might not be the best YouTuber ever, but you know, I'm here to fill the void. So I'll see you in the next video, hopefully, and in the meantime, keep snapping. Bye.